Why did you quit Dota? I was playing probably like, I don't know, 2+ hours a night of Dota, which is like 4 games, maybe 3 games. And then one day I was like, how much of that time is actually fun? And it was like, maybe like 35% of it at a maximum. There's like a lot of days where it was like basically 0. Dota's not really fun if you're losing, is my experience, because you see the loss coming a long time in advance of when the loss actually hits. So you spend about a third of every lost game just knowing you're going to lose and waiting for it to actually happen. Not fun. I basically just quit that night and said, that's it.
Halfway through, we decided to play Dota because some of my friends play Dota. Made me want to blow out. That game actually just pisses me off. I don't know, dude. Dota's fucked up. It's a fucked up game. The heroes are cool in Dota because I used to play it growing up. So like I remember a lot of them. But the games are 50 minutes long. The games are insanely fucking long. Like they're so long. So whether you're in a win or a loss, you're just there for an hour. Like you can do 2 Dota games and it's been 2 hours. Legitimately 2 games is 2 hours. And I actually, dude, when you're losing in that game, it's fucking atrociously painful. It's crazy. It's so bad.
Let's face it, guys, Dota is absolutely miserable. There's just something about this game that brings out the absolute worst version of ourselves. Causing us to endlessly chain queue over and over again, even when we know it's not a good idea. Which is exactly why I think you should be quitting Dota 2. But why exactly am I saying this? Am I saying this because I think Dota is a terrible game? No, of course not. I think it has the potential of being a great time for both competitive players as well as casual players who enjoy playing with their friends. But as much as I do enjoy playing and creating content for the game that I love, I strongly believe that you should be quitting it. But wait. Okay, please allow me to explain why before you thumbs down the video and post that very mean comment about me. Alright, thanks. So, we've all been there, right? Excited to finally hop on and play some Dota, finding match after match, only to find yourself hating humanity even more and with less MMR than what you've started with. Eventually filling up your entire match history with the endless red plague that we all fear. But what if I told you that the majority of those lost games in your match history wasn't actually because of your lack of skills or knowledge of the game, but in fact, it's just your emotions getting in the way. Now, at first, you may think I'm just trying to glaze you up and give you an excuse of being hard-stuck Archon, but believe it or not, emotions do play a very huge part of Dota, and this goes for all levels of the game, from your shitty Herald rank games all the way up to professional play at the International. Because at the end of the day, Dota 2 is ultimately a mental game, and this has been proven many times throughout Dota's history. OG, during their peak, dominating everyone at TI9, showcased this to over 1 million players watching from all around the globe, displaying how they've truly mastered this exact strategy. Try to get into your opponent's head, make them crumble under pressure, and cause them to make bad decisions.
And he sprays loser. The disrespect.
Voice lines, tipping, alt chatting, pausing the game, all of these things can affect the way one person plays, depending on how fragile their state of mind truly is. And let me tell you something, an average Dota player's mind is not very strong at all.
Months of unconditional love.
Can this go away? Why are they doing on my screen?
That, paired with the fact that Dota is one of the most mentally draining and emotionally tiring games ever, and you've got a recipe for creating some of the most radioactive and explosive gamers in the world. And yes, this even applies to your very own teammates as well, if anything, more so. Having a toxic team not only puts you in a bad mood, but it also heavily affects your overall ability to impact the game. Studies show that psychologically, humans tend to perform better around positivity, a theory known as the power of positive reinforcement. Experiments prove that on a basketball court, that an average person surrounded by a positive cheering crowd would land more successful shots than an actual basketball player would if they were surrounded by a negative booing crowd. Putting this in Dota terms, just imagine being in a team where everyone is arguing with each other and nobody is even trying to win anymore. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that just sounds like an average Dota game. This exact same string of repetitive bad events can be mentally draining, and in the long term can result in stress, anxiety, and eventually being burnt out and killing all of your passion of the game. Pro players aren't immune to this effect either, which is why therapy is very commonly used around esports and is actually compulsory among a lot of the top organizations. So what exactly does this mean, and what am I trying to say? Well, to put it bluntly, if you want to actually improve at Dota and get higher MMR, simply play less. This may not really make sense to you at first, but with how much Dota 2 does require a good mental state as well as how much it affects it, this actually does kind of make sense. Ana, who by many people regard as one of the best Dota 2 players of all time, is furthermore proof of this exact point. The guy was literally known for playing the bare minimum amount of Dota required and still managed to outplay everybody. And by the time of his second consecutive TI victory was actually unranked.
Still think it's so unfair. An unranked carry player wins TI.
Sorry. Wasn't intentional.
Ana showcased to the world that you don't have to be constantly grinding the game to be good at it. All you needed was planning, a good strategy, and most importantly, a good mindset, remembering to have fun. He solidified himself as the undisputed GOAT, the best ever part-time professional Dota 2 player, and was, quote, the two-time champion who watched Gordon Ramsay videos instead of practicing. So the next time you find yourself in a painful loss streak, just do yourself a favor and take a break. Whether it's for a day or a week or even months, just remember that your best Dota performance is only achievable with a healthy mind. And also with hours of binge watching Gordon Ramsay videos, I guess.